Shanta. Are you able to see me, hear me clearly?
Clear. What about me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Just
Okay, good
a second.
morning. How are you?
Okay. Yes, I'm doing well. How are you? How have you been?
I was not well. I have not been well for a very long time, but now things are getting better, recovering. So I went on a very long trip. I think I told you before I went, or I think when I was on the trip, that's when you messaged. And
Oh,
throughout that 3 weeks period, I was not well. But because I had so many plans and such a long travel plan, I kept on taking paracetamol and I kept on suppressing, the congestion and the cold and the viral and all of that. So once I was back home, it just, it was out of control. It was so bad for the initial few days. I had to be on a long, period of medication. And even now, like the cold is still not completely gone. And with winter setting in slowly, it is definitely not helping the recovery part because every morning like I get up and it's very chilly outside and I start sneezing again. So it's a constant struggle, but I think it will get better soon. You tell
but
me,
it
how
was
are
not a
you?
side effect. I think it was not a side effect of your travel. It was already there with you.
No. Yeah, it was not a side effect at all. What happened was because of the travel, I was quite tired. So that worn out state
Further
did not help
aggravating.
the recovery. So that is what happened.
Okay. Okay. All
How are
right. So,
you?
okay, today I'm doing pretty well. Nothing new, I would say, nothing exciting, but it
Mm-hmm.
is the usual stuff for me. So it's going on. Yeah, I'm doing well, pretty well.
Okay, that's good to know.
Okay, so today I actually came across something known as emotional intelligence. This is something new for me because I had heard
Mm.
of IQ, but EQ is something different and it is related to a lot of skills in our life, including confidence, communication skills, even English. So I was just researching about it. So I thought you are also a trainer who trains for communication skills. So I thought let me discuss this with you, including communication skills, soft skills, and a lot about English as well. So we'll discuss that in the section today. So being a coach, you tell me what are the challenges that people face, the major hurdles that people face in having good communication skills.
Okay, I think that's an excellent question. Now, when I say, or when you ask, what is the major challenge? It is not possible to describe any one thing. Like, you can't pinpoint one thing. If I have to say one thing, then I would definitely say that the lack of awareness when people mix up English and communication skills to be the same thing, which is not. So, that lack of awareness is the biggest hurdle, I would say. Now, the moment somebody realizes that English is just the medium of communication, it can be in Hindi, it can be in any other language. But if you cannot communicate well with people, no language is going to help you. That's why, for example, you would see people around you who are very unimpressive in their mother tongue as well. Isn't it? Like when they speak in their mother tongue, you still don't want to listen to them. Or they're still coming across as rude, they come across as indifferent, they come across as uninterested in conversations. So it doesn't matter what language you are focusing on. English, of course, is important as a language because that's the language that you use to communicate with people all around the country and the globe. That's one uniform language. So that's important. But understanding that communication is whole different genre, that's number one important. And understanding the importance of soft skills. So when you say that, you train people on communication, um, I train people on soft skills, personality development, because what happens is, when somebody, like in offices, very common because I mostly deal with people who are working and in their corporate lives. because I train most of them, I come across these instances quite often, that two people in the same team, both are working hard, both can speak English, but when it comes to the next level, the promotion, one gets the promotion, the other one is left behind. What is it that is lacking? So when you say emotional intelligence, it is one of the most important soft skill in today's time. And it is extremely important for people to understand that the hard skills or the work, how to operate that software or how to do your accounting or how to code, nowadays even you can take from AI and you can understand, you can learn, your office can teach you that. What they can't teach you is your personality and the soft skills that you possess. They don't have time to deal with that. So working on soft skills is more important than working on hard skills. Now, when we say soft skills, communication, number one. Are you able to communicate effectively with others? Number two, are you easy to work with? Are you adaptable? Earlier, people used to talk about leadership, teamwork, this, that. Now, the definitions are slightly changing. Now, people look at how adaptable are you? If there is a challenge, if there is a sudden change, are you resistant to the change or are you up for the change? You're like, yeah, let's try it, let's do it. So if you think of yourself as a recruiter or an employer, you would want somebody who will be able to adapt to different situations. Are you a critical thinker and a problem solver, or are you a problem creator? Right? English does not play a role here. What is your attitude towards things, situations? If there is a disagreement in the team, will you side with one person and start fighting or start rebelling? Or will you say, it's okay, disagreements happen, let us find a solution and move on? We need to get going with the work, right? Or are you emotionally intelligent, which means, do you control your emotions or does your emotions get the better of you? And when I say emotion, it can be anything. Too happy, too sad, too angry, too sensitive to situations, right? If somebody is sharing a feedback with you, do you like go into a shell, or do you look at it from a perspective that, oh, probably there is something that will help me to grow further, right? So these are the kind of skills that hiring managers are looking at these days. So, overall, that's an overview that I can give.
Definitely, yes. And what are the communication skills that everybody needs to develop for both personal and professional growth? I think you addressed the professional part, but there is also something called as personal growth. So, what are the communication skills that you recommend people, everybody should develop?
Okay. So the skills that I spoke about, those were the soft skills, right?
Yes.
Now, if you think of it, do you only need those soft skills in your personal professional life? Don't you need them in your personal life? Would it not be nice if your spouse or your friend or your children had that emotional intelligence or that empathy, or are they able to communicate with you openly in a good manner, respectfully? We all need those skills in our personal lives as well. Now, when we talk about communication, communication is one of the major soft skills, the top soft skill that you need. Now, when you talk about communication in detail, then comes the question, what are the skills involved to become a great communicator or a good or an effective communicator? Number one, Active listening. Do you listen to understand the other person, or do you listen and in your head you are repeating or rehearsing your response? Most people are listening with the intent to respond, not to understand, right? That's what creates a lot of misunderstanding. It creates the impression that, oh, you never listen to me. How common is that dialogue in relationships? Why don't you listen to me? I said it. I asked you that, right? Very common. Because we are not focused on the other person, we are focused on ourselves. So, active listening. Number two, comprehending, the skill of comprehending or understanding the message. What happens is people generally assume. So, you heard something and you assume that, oh, probably this person is trying to say this, so let me respond this way. We don't even try, or we hardly take that effort to understand somebody. If I am not clear about something, I would ask, okay, Shanta, is this what you were asking about? Before I give an answer which does not fit your question. Or I think you are asking about this. Is that correct? Communication, right? When you do that, you are showing respect to the other person as well, because you are respecting both of your time. And you are telling that person that, hey, I am paying attention, I'm just clarifying. So it actually increases the respect in that communication, right? So active listening, comprehension. Then comes one of the most important things. Are you clear and concise when you talk? Are you like beating around the bush, going round and round in circles about one thing, or are you straight to the point and in an easy, simple language, you try and explain yourself, right? What happens is when you think that, oh, I want to sound very intellectual and I want to go round and round in circles, in today's time, people are used to watching 10 seconds, 15 seconds reels. That's the attention span of people. So they don't have time to pay attention to your, you know, difficult and easy to, difficult to decode messages or your sentences which are too complicated. So are you simple and concise? And can you put across your thoughts in a factual and complete manner? When I say factual, do you do correct and complete conversations? If there will be a lot of people that you will see that people just don't pay attention when they talk, because they know, oh, whenever he talks he's just bluffing or he's just saying some nonsense, we don't want to listen to them, right? This happens. So again, being factual, being complete with your information, because if you are saying one thing and then you are leaving out the other, you are again keeping that loop open, right? So it's very important to ensure that you are closing the loop when you are communicating something. And lastly, very, very important, which is, are you courteous when you communicate? Are you respectful? Do you consider your audience? Or you are talking to a bunch of class 12 students and you are talking about some philosophy that is like 100 years old, that something that they will not even relate to, right? So considering your audience and being respectful in your approach, again, makes you a good communicator. So there are a lot of things to focus on while you are working to become a good communicator. And, each of these have their own importance. Like you can have all the skills that I was talking about. You can listen actively, you can be concise, you can be precise, you can give correct information. but you have no respect, you speak rudely, people will not pay attention to you. They will not even care, right? So yeah, that's about communication.
Yes, I think they're interrelated, not only professional. Maybe professional, you need extra few more for the workplace. But I think almost it applies to both your personal life and professional life. It is so much
Yes,
more important to develop social skills, I would say, which people are lacking in terms of maintaining relationships, in terms of motivation, self-awareness, self-regulation, how well they
extremely.
regulate their emotions, and they should be aware of what they are feeling because, as you said, attention span has become so less. And I think with the advent of social media and so much of scrolling, people have lost their conversational skills.
Yes.
They cannot focus. They cannot focus for 20 minutes, 30 minutes
Yeah,
because the attention span is reduced and they need something new going on and they're lost. They cannot
correct.
focus and have meaningful conversations. I think that is something very much lacking in today's era, I would say, and it's quite difficult. And I really feel for my kids because when they grow
Yeah,
up, they wouldn't be even as good as us. At least we had a few meaningful relationships
right.
before social media took up. But I wonder what kind of relationships they are going to have because they need new every single time. So that is really, really
Absolutely.
difficult.
Yes, absolutely. I 100% agree with everything that you said, Shanta. And I'll tell you one observation that I have made over the last 12 years throughout my career when I have started actually observing people. And that was one of the reasons why I did my life coaching course, because these things are all interrelated, right? You cannot train someone or you cannot develop someone's personality if you are not able to show them the bigger picture, right? So what happens is, when you say that, okay, these are all interrelated skills for your personal and your professional life, we give too much importance to our professional life just because we earn money from there. And somehow our personal lives and our personal relationships, we always take them for granted. And we have been raised that way. We have never been taught about the importance that, your family or your loved ones, they matter. Why are we thinking that I need to please my boss, but I'm not thinking that I need to treat my spouse respectfully? That's a very, very, wrong way to look at life. That's a very sad way to look at life. That somebody who can replace you in like 30 seconds, you are so thoughtful to please them and be respectful to them. And someone who has, promised to spend their entire life with you, you don't think about respecting them. And that's so common and sad, right? So this lack of awareness that you were talking about, lack of self awareness, this is one of the major issues why we lack so many important skills in life. I'll tell you a quick example. Whenever I start with a new learner, I always ask them that, can you tell me about three qualities about yourself that you really love, and three areas apart from English and communication, three things about yourself that you want to change or improve, and why do you want to do that? To be very honest, 80% of the learners, they have no idea because they have never thought about it, right? So that shows how much we lack in just sitting and discovering ourselves. Who are we? Like, what are our likes? What are our dislikes? Another, like, very striking thing I'll tell you, I love asking this question, especially to women, especially to homemakers, that if today I tell you that for one day you have no responsibility of your kids or your family, maybe your husband is taking care of the kids for one day and you are free and you have an unlimited budget just for one day, how would you spend that day with yourself? And it is so sad, like 95% of homemakers, They are clueless. They have no idea what they will do with themselves, even if they have unlimited money. They can't think of anything. Why are we lacking in, getting to know ourselves, our likes, our dislikes? So, here, the good thing to understand is if you are not aware of yourself, you will not be able to be aware of people around you. It's like you think that you know your family, you think you know your kids, but probably you just know their habits, like what you are dealing with every day. When do they get up? What time they go to school? When do they go to office? What do they like to have in their lunch? That's it. What about
Mm.
the actual things? Not the routine, not the habit. What are they like? What is their personality? What do they like to do? So that lack of thinking, when people start thinking from that perspective, then all these things, communication, emotional intelligence, these things will automatically start, existing among people very easily. So right now, we are so caught up in this rat race of earning money and handling family that we often forget what is the actual purpose. Why are we like, why do we stop our self development the moment we get a job or we get married? Why? Right? So it's all interrelated. You cannot, separate anything from the other. And that's why, knowing these things or thinking about these things or getting to know yourself, the first step is to get to know yourself. And then from there, you start to grow as an individual,
Mm.
right?
It's a sad reality that most women do not know what makes them happy. You're
Correct.
spot on, I would say, and it's such a beautiful coincidence. Just today morning, my husband and I, we were discussing this very same thing, that you take 2 days off, like once a year. Take 2 days off, no strings attached. Nobody's going to ask you where you're going, what you did, and just you don't even have to answer any calls. You have unlimited time, budget, and I'm going to take care of everything. Tell me what makes you happy and what you want to do. And like you said, I was clueless. My happiness is associated with family, taking care of kids, and I cannot imagine. I even start feeling guilty. I am
Yeah.
going and enjoying without kids. How am I
Mm.
going to spend 2 days without them because they're very young? But I am there. I'm there to take care. Now you tell me what makes you happy. What do you want to do? And truly, I am clueless.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing that I want to do. What is that?
Correct.
I don't know
Correct.
how do we discover what makes us happy? How do we discover like loving ourselves or giving time to ourselves? Because even from childhood, the upbringing is as such in India, especially, you
Right.
hardly get to explore yourself. Everything is happening in autopilot mode. You're just doing what people are telling you to do. And it is never,
Correct.
you never question yourself, what do I want to do? What is it that is making me happy? This
Yes.
self awareness, self love, self discovery is not there in
Mm.
maximum of us, and especially women, because my
Correct.
husband knows what he wants to do if he's left alone, and what
Mm.
he can do that, like for 2 3 days he can be for himself happy without the guilt thing. Not completely, but to a fraction, it is doable for him. But for me,
Correct.
I am clueless. I'm clueless.
Yeah, and it is very common. It happens a lot. Why? Because, as you said, upbringing, number one. Number two,
Mm.
the moment we are, most women, when they get married and they have that responsibility, it is so deeply rooted in them that now your life revolves around them. So, where is that chance that you are, getting to know yourself? But the good thing is, earlier we did not have so much of awareness. So we could say that, okay, we didn't know. But
Mm.
now, with the kind of awareness that is available, I often tell, all my friends and everybody, like most of my friends are quite, like that they would pay attention to themselves because now this thing is very clear to a lot of people that if you don't take care of yourself, you cannot take care of people around you. That's very, very common and it's known to a lot of people. So, what happens is we need to understand that we can have our, our roots, our teachings at one place. However, after a point in life, we cannot say that we are only the product of our environment. We also have to start developing our thoughts. Like, what am I creating my belief system to be? Because what I create today will help me break the cycle for my next generation. So that's an individual task everybody needs to do. For example, any kid who sees their mother so involved in today's time, when they grow up,
Mhm.
they will have the same mentality that, oh, I don't know, I haven't seen anything different. So that realization for every person, every individual, and this is for men and women both, okay? Kids, like, there is this very interesting concept that I learned the other day, that you don't need to teach kids anything by telling them. Kids mirror what they see. So what you want them to be, you have to be that. And they will automatically, grow up to be how you want them to be. So it was so beautiful and it was so nicely explained that, just behave the way you want your kids to become. And they will become that because they are constantly mirroring you. And when I think of it, when I reflect on my childhood, I think
Hmm.
I still can remember, I still can feel myself mirroring a lot of things my mom and dad did, you know, consciously, unconsciously, whatever. So it's a very beautiful way to look at it. Um, so just accepting the fact that, okay, whatever said and done, I want to take charge of my life and I want to become the person that I would want my kids to be, or how I would want my kids to be. If anybody starts thinking of that way, that development or that awareness will automatically follow, because now you have a lot of avenues to learn: books, podcasts, videos, uh, audios. Everything is available for everybody. It just depends on the person, what they want to choose. Now, there are people who would scroll hours on their phone watching funny videos and watching dance videos, but they won't think for 5 minutes, okay, let me learn something new today, right? So, again, that willingness to learn and grow, that has to be there. And of course, um, even when we talk about personal relationships, that openness of communication helps you a lot. Like when you can communicate your thoughts respectfully and in a proper manner with people around you, uh, that makes your life really easy. So, not just at
Yes.
work, but also in your personal life, all these skills help you live a better life.
Yes. And also,
Yeah.
at some point of time, you feel stuck in your life, maybe in your mid 30s or something known as
Mhm.
midlife crisis that sets in, not only in your professional life, but even personal life. And
Yeah.
I think that is where coaches come into picture, right? It's not
Yes.
counseling, it's coaching. That's where you teach people how to break that plateau and how to move forward and your self growth. So what do you advise people who feel they are stuck now? It's like everything is done and dusted. Now we are stuck, we are not seeing any progress or anything new or different. And at a point when something is happening like every single day in autopilot mode, it seems mundane to you and you start losing interest and motivation. So how do you boost a person's, how do you motivate them, or what advice do you give them? Because you're a certified coach. So how do you take this forward?
Okay, so I'll tell you one little secret here, okay? whenever somebody is coaching you or whenever somebody is helping you with your life decisions, a life coach
Mhm.
is not there to give you a solution. A
Yes.
life coach is there to activate your thought process, which has been dormant for a very long time. So, the thing that you
Mm.
said, in that mundane routine, you forget to think out of your life or anything out of your normal routine. You don't think, you don't pay attention. So, I'll tell you this, I have seen so many times that somebody who has spent their whole life looking after kids, got married at a very early age, took care of the family, brought up kids, and now kids are grown up because they got married at a young age. Now they are maybe in their 40s, mid 40s, and they feel
Mm.
kids are gone. What do I do with my life? I have no one, because
Yes.
what you have done is you have surrounded your life around your kids. You don't have a life on your own, right? So when they are gone, they will definitely go because they have to create their life. They will not sit there to entertain you throughout your life. And that's not fair to even think, because you did not have kids with the expectation that they are going to take care of me always. No. If, a lot of parents do that, okay, I want to have kids because they will be my support system in the old age. That's extremely selfish, because they are individuals and they should get that freedom to live their life. Husbands or wives, and this can happen with both partners, okay, this has nothing to do with just one gender. Mostly the feminine gender gets highlighted because that's how Indian society works, but it can happen with either partner, that I'm completely dependent on my partner, I have no other life of my own. Again, you have to think, why have I done this to myself? Right? Why don't I have friends? Mostly I see women who are homemakers, they have no friends. And that's really concerning. When they are in that cycle of day to day routine, they don't realize it. But once
Mm.
these family responsibilities are done at an age where kids are gone, husband is busy in work or whatever, then it hits them. And then it's very difficult for them to, cope with that phase. What do I do with my time? How much do I watch TV, right? How much do I scroll my phone? So, very important to start thinking about it. First of all, we are in a society that is more towards uh, the curative side than the preventive side. We are not proactive as a society. We don't plan, we don't think for the future. We think, Are, whatever comes, we'll see. That's the kind of
Mm.
attitude that most of us have. So, first things first, it is important to change yourself from a curative person to a proactive person. Whatever I do
Mm.
will have an impact on my future. So let me think and let me take decisions that will create the future that I want. That's the first thing that somebody can do. If you are already there, then as a coach, anybody who coaches them, their duty will be to bring out their thoughts, their hidden or their suppressed emotions, because most of the time we are not able to release our emotions, and then we lose out on our thoughts are blurred. So think of the things or find out the things that you like. So deep dive into yourself. Again, the answer lies within you. What is it that
Mm.
gives you happiness? What is it that brings a smile on your face when you do it? And people can start thinking of things. Oh, when I was in college, I really used to enjoy drawing or painting or whatever, right? In the rat race of family and job and work, the first thing that gets neglected or suppressed in our lives is our hobbies. Like whatever thing that we used to do or used to like at one time, we completely forget that. It takes a back seat, right? So start with that. When you see that, okay, this is something that I used to do, let me try and see if this works now. So the basic thing is finding out what gives you happiness, then channelizing that energy into something that can make you feel worth. Because most people often relate your worthiness to money, right? So
Correct.
it is important again to understand, is it money that is going to make you feel worthy? Is it recognition that is going to make you feel worthy? Or is it just companionship or listening or just talking to someone that is going to make you feel better? Right? So again, that answer lies within you. Nobody can give you that answer. What somebody can do, what a coach can do, is just ask you questions so that you can come up with the solutions. Right? Um, and it's to be honest, it's a very beautiful process. Sometimes it is very eye opening as well for both the person who is taking that session, and even for the coach, because you get to know and understand so many different scenarios. And the best part is everyone's life is different, everyone's experiences are different, so you can't really blanket everything under one window. So you have to have that open mind, and you have to have that understanding and that empathy, right? But overall, again, all of it is a journey of self discovery. The more we know the self, the easier it will be for us to help our next generation and help the people around us. Because today, if I am aware that knowing myself is important, then tomorrow I can tell my kids from a very young age that, focus on yourself, ask yourself what are your likes, what are your dislikes. Or maybe I can do that to them. From a very young age, I
Mm.
can ask them, what is it that you like doing? What is your, what is it? We just ask one thing to kids, right? What do you want to become when you grow up? That's the one question we are asking all the time as a society. I don't remember, apart from my parents, I don't remember any other neighbor, uncle, auntie, relative, anybody ever asking me what makes you happy. Never. And we don't ask that, right? But I remember thousands of people coming to me and asking me, oh, what do you want to become when you grow up? You want to become a doctor? You want to become this? So we are always in that, in that thought. From the point a baby is born, you're thinking, oh, what is going to be the channel of earning money for this person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm.
So yeah, that's how society is. But then I think now things are slowly and steadily changing, evolving, developing. But it cannot, as a society, if we want to go forward, it cannot be stuck to just one circle of people. It has to be an awareness amongst majority of people, so that any real transformation can start in the society.
Yes, we have less than a minute left, and I was like kind of shocked to say that. I cannot even acknowledge. So, thank you so much for joining. It was really insightful, and I learned so much from you. I'm truly grateful that you joined and shared your knowledge and expertise. Thank you so much. I'll talk
Thank
to
you
you
so
again.
much, Shanta. Yes, we'll meet again. Bye.
Okay, bye bye. Take care.
Take care.